You know how most of us look at multimillionaires as an inspiration, as motivation, especially, when they're our age. I'm going to use the age 30 because I'm 33, so I'm going to just use that as a round number for example purposes only. So just imagine a multimillionaire that's 30 years old right now, and you look at them as motivation, but have y'all ever thought about the amount of pressure that's on that 30-year-old person? And I say that when you look at it like, just imagine if that person makes it to 90 years old. From 30 to 90, that's 60 years that person have to manage that wealth and maintain it well. Do you imagine like the the pressure that is on you? That's why they tell you the best way to attain wealth is to do it slowly. Because in 60 years, that's a lot of time to fumble the bag. And now, you're just a has been. If you going through life just like everybody else going through life, you having problems just like everybody else having problems, and it's so easy when you look at it from that, like 60 years to fumble that bag, that will be easy to do. So that's the amount of pressure that a lot of us ain't ready for. So just look at your life and just embrace your life. Don't compare it to others, but don't be a hater neither, but maintain your wealth and get it slowly because you may not be mentally ready for the pressure that comes with that money, and I was just sitting up here thinking about that most people won't be able to handle that kind of pressure. I'd rather get it at 50 years old and make it to 80. And damn, it's 30 years that I had to maintain that versus getting it at 30 and then, making it to 80. That's 50 years. That's just something food for thought, man. I'm just in here. Y'all have a great night, and I'm out.